Well, welcome back to Simcoe, Ontario. It's a 2022 Chiefs Challenge. Blair Setford, Chris Abbott for you on the final game of the night. This is into the playoff round. Hill United Chiefs and the Niagara Snappers. Hill United finishing second in their division. Chris, that was a big win for them because they would have fallen down in the division. Wouldn't have fallen out of it, but they needed to win that to get this favorable playoff matchup.
Yeah, well, after the Bear Creek loss earlier today, we thought maybe Hill United would just walk right into Sunday as the top of the division. Not going to be the case. They've got to play another one here. The home crowd's sticking around, but they should be the favorites in this one.
Yeah, I think so. The Snappers done well to make it in the playoff game. They won 2-1 in 8 innings earlier this morning, but they come in here as the 3 seed, and I think definitely the Chiefs the clear favorite.
The Chiefs will be the home team for this game as you look out on the mound to see tonight's starter, Nick Patrick. It'll be my first viewing of the young man.
Yeah, Nick Patrick, a good young thrower from the Saskatchewan area. He was in junior back in 2016, got to see him throw then, and I thought at the time he really looked like a man among boys. He started the Toronto Batman game earlier today and went through the batting order once, left a couple of guys on base, but the Batman would go on to win that one, as we know, 7-0. So he did take the loss as the 2 runners on base were his, but I think a little better outing expected here. He'll probably be on a bit of a short leash, and I think it means he probably Pablo Migliavacca in to close it out.
So lineup for the Snappers before we get going. Keenan Bateman's going to lead things off right now. Kevin Newhouse behind him. Tyson Barkman playing first base, batting third. Reese Yancey is the pitcher, batting fourth. Ryan Janes, Sean Adamo, Adam Bredner, Perry Bartley, and Calvin Monroe to round out the 9.
Well, Chris, I'm feeling old with Keenan Bateman here because I used to play against his dad. I'm presuming it's his dad, Mike Bateman. Was a member of the Snappers for a number of years in the early, mid, and even late 2000s.
I'm just going to break it to you, Blair. You are old.
Yeah, I think so. I've come to that conclusion. And I thank you, though, for emphatically pointing that out.
But you still got a lot more hair than I do.
So Keenan Bateman up at the plate. Set the defense for you for Hill United. It is a little bit different looking lineup for Hill United than you might expect. In the outfield, Brett Larson's in left. Center field, Brad Ezekiel, of course, the mainstay. Right field is Alan Pecker. And then around the horn of the infield, Shane Boland, Nick Shales. Thomas Anoka gets a start at second base. And then over at first, it's Piplo Lopez. Josh McGovern doing the catching right now, and as we talked about, Nick Patrick on the mound for the Chiefs. Chopper to the infield. Boland waits for it to come down. Strong throw over to Lopez at first, and just that quick one down. I think the wise course of action there, Chris, was Shane, was to wait for that rather than try and go charge and get it on an in-between hop.
Yeah, sure-handed defender. A lot of times you want to see the guy charge that. Boland risks the hop here after all day ball being played on the field, but he's so good. But by the way, Blair, speaking of ball being played all day on the field, the grounds crew clearly knows what they're doing. They've kept this place in really good shape.
Yeah, they've done a really good job, without a doubt. Tyson Barkman in, and I actually missed the first out, so a strikeout and then a ground out here. That's getting caught up on things. We're starting about an hour and 20 minutes late. We had a couple of games run late, and then a marathon between Hill and the Bear Creek Express. That game took... What were we? We were half an hour for the first inning, an hour at the end of the second. I thought maybe we might there be 3.5 hours just for that game on its own.
It was a long one, but then the Niagara game on the other field went longer.
That's true. It did. Tyson Barkman, 3 unassisted to end the inning as Lopez picks that up and steps on the bag. Chiefs coming to the plate, scoreless through the first half.
Murphy's Fish and Chips is not only a great place to get some of the best seafood in Canada, but is also one of the best fastball sponsors in the game. Voted Nova Scotia's best fish and chips by Eastlink TV, Murphy's is a family institution since 1996 and a proud fastball sponsor of many Canadian and ISC championship teams. Open 7 days a week. Come join us for our famous English-style fish and chips or any of our daily specials. Murphy's is located at 88 Esplanade in Truro, Nova Scotia. We thank Dave T. Anderson and Murphy's Fish and Chips for their commitment to fastball and the broadcast.
By the way, Blair, you ever been to Truro, Nova Scotia?
I have not. I've been all over Halifax and out to Wolf Hills, I mentioned, and but I've never crossed the bridge over to Truro.
It's a hub, right where the main, I guess you'd call it, Trans-Canada Highway heading east toward Cape Breton veers off to Halifax, and they love their sports there. They do love their Murphy's Fish and Chips too.
Well, who doesn't love Murphy's Fish and Chips?
Long-time sponsor now.
That's
wow.
right. Yes, Dave Anderson, great supporter of the game. So Shane Boland will lead things off. Nick Shales was up to the 2 spot. Brad Ezekiel, then Thomas Anoka hitting 4. Alan Pecker in the 5 spot. Jason Hill 6. Piplo Lopez 7. Josh McGovern in the 8 hole. And Brett Larson is in the 9 spot for the Chiefs. Set the defense for you for the Niagara Snappers. It's Adam Bredner out in left, and center it is Keenan Bateman. Right fields is Sean Adamo, and then around the horn, Perry Bartley is playing third. The shortstop is Al Stevens, who's in the lineup but not batting. At second base, it's Kevin Newhouse, who has played second base for the Snappers since Christ was a child, I think. And over at first, it's Tyson Barkman. Reese Yancey is doing the pitching for the Snappers to Calvin Monroe.
I tell you, Perry Bartley better be on his toes down there at third base right now. You got Boland's going to be up there ripping it right-handed. Shales, Ezekiel.
Yeah, there are a couple of guys for sure who are going to be up there taking the hacks, including this guy, Boland. Reese Yancey, good young arm out of the Tavistock area, throwing for the Waterdown Hammer in the qualifier last weekend. This one up and into Boland, and sure, that's not what he was looking for. Reese beat the Niagara Stompers team through a real good game at the Stompers as the Hammer upset them to finish 4th. And swing and a miss here. Boland right underneath that good rise ball from Reese Yancey. And you know, he's going to give them a chance out there, Chris.
Well, he does present a different challenge than you usually face with a hard-throwing lefty. You know, he's not the crafty lefty.
He's not the crafty lefty. He might be the only non-crafty lefty in the game.
A lot of balls left up here early on.
And that can be a sign of fatigue here, too. It's been a long, hot day here in Simcoe. Thankfully, no humidity. So it's something that everybody can deal with. You stay hydrated. The sun wasn't beating down either. The sun was out all day, but there was a bit of a cloud layer. So it was quite comfortable here on Simcoe. Now, you and I not out on the diamonds where it's usually about 5-6 degrees warmer.
Well, something else Yancey has going for him, and he's going to need it, let's be honest, against a team like the Hill United Chiefs, is the dusk that we're starting this game in. Lighting is quite curious.
Yeah, we talked about that last night as well. Lights are in the corners of the diamonds. Typically, you might see them in the gaps, but in the corners, it's a long way to point into center field. That's actually the darkest part of the field. Shales lifts this one up a long way down the right field line. That lands in fair territory. Shales doesn't even stop around third. Ellsworth puts out the stop sign as the throw comes in, and that's a timely stop sign because the throw came right to the plate on a line.
Shales reaches out for this, and just no way to get to it in the big outfield we talked about earlier. Adamo has to flag it down, and Shales in with the stand-up triple.
So that'll bring up Bradley Ezekiel. Bradley had a bit of an uncharacteristically quiet day, I would say, Chris, in the sense that he didn't hit any home runs.
It's not over yet.
It's not over yet. You're absolutely right. Just on a torrid hitting streak in the St. John's League. This one has reached out and laced foul, way foul down the left side. Bradley batting .833 in the St. John's League, which is still the best league in Canada. Slow pitch numbers batting .833. But here's the ridiculous part. That's not even the ridiculous, crazy part. He's had 12 at-bats. He's hit 7 home runs and just about decapitates young Reese Yancey. Here, Shales will trot in with the game's first run and an RBI single for Bradley Ezekiel.
Yeah, Yancey's eyes got pretty big as that ball came back in his direction. Luckily, he's not a super tall man, because that could have been the end of him.
Yeah, he would have had K-Master tattooed in reverse on whatever body part that might have hit. So Thomas Anoka will come in. Tommy into the cleanup spot. And you had to think he'd appear here at some point this year. Just too good of a stick to be batting 8-7 in this Hill United order.
It's a hard order to get a lot of looks in, if we're being honest. Anoka walked, singled, and flew out in the win over Bear Creek.
Swing and a miss underneath there, and he didn't fool Nick Shales because he left that pitch up out of the zone. But for Boland and for Anoka here, that inside rise ball is a pretty effective pitch for Yancey. But you leave anything out over the plate against this team, Chris, of course you are going to pay for it dearly. There's no weak spots here. And this team is, I think, bent on proving something after that Batman loss. Well, a little bender from Yancey catches Anoka by surprise, and there was a little curveball at the knees, and he's down on strikes.
Yeah, it was a good pitch. It was right there, and home plate umpire had no choice but to call that strike 3.
Oh, this one in between the numbers on Pecker, and he will make the long, slow, painful walk down to first.
Well, one thing we've seen early from Yancey is some pitches that have been high and tight on a lot of these Hill United batters. Normally a sign of someone who knows he has to throw really well to beat a team, and maybe throwing a little too hard.
Yeah, that could be. Young pitcher out there with something to prove, wants to show that he's not afraid of coming inside. And if you don't have that pinpoint control, that's the kind of thing that happens. Don't be surprised to see Alan Pecker on the move in the next pitch or two. He's got more than enough speed to steal bases against just about anybody in the game.
I know for sure there's nothing Jason Hill likes less than hitting against left-handed
Lefties.
pitching.
Yeah, as a left-handed hitter, I could have lived without them too. We talked last game, Chris, about Jason Hill. Has made some adjustments to the swing over the years. Used to be just the dead pull hitter, but can hit the ball to center and left these days. But left standing at the plate as Reese Yancey gets a couple of backwards Ks. But Nick Shales a triple and comes in to score on the single by Brad Ezekiel.
For all your team uniform and equipment needs, fastball, slow pitch, and hockey, for players and teams, make sure you visit Corbett's Source for Sports on the South Service Road in Oakville, Ontario. There's a lot of deals to be had on all kinds of equipment. Thank you to Paul Hurd and Corbett's Source for Sports for their generous sponsorship of the broadcast program. For all your team uniform,
The annual Boys of Summer tournament is held every July at Circle Tap Bar and Grill in Denmark, Wisconsin. We host some of the top teams in the game at one of the best venues in softball. The atmosphere of old-time fast pitch with all of the amenities of a full-service bar and grill on the grounds can't be beat. Reduced rate hotels about 10 minutes from the park are available in Green Bay. To bring your team to the annual Boys of Summer tournament next July, contact Dean Kane at ct16@greenbaynet.com. Thanks to Circle Tap for their support of the broadcast program.
Head to the top of the second inning, it'll be the pitcher, Reese Yancey, leading off against the wide smile of Nick Patrick as he went 1-2-3 in the top of the first inning with one strikeout.
Pitcher number 13, Reese Yancey.
So Yancey, after a tough top of the first, has to get right back out there. Stands quite close to the plate in the middle of the box. Swinging at the first pitch, fouls it back off the mask of Josh McGovern for strike one. Drop to first. This is going to be tough. Lopez on the shovel. Anoka covering, and he's out. Heck of a play by Piplo Lopez. Looked like he was caught in no man's land.
Well, good play there by Tommy Anoka to get over and cover, and Dave Selden took his time making the call, but a punch out nonetheless. Chris, on the dime behind us, the Grand Prairie Pirates up 2-1 early on the Niagara Stompers. Zach Pierce pitching for Grand Prairie. That one is still just first or second inning like we are here. That one is well hit, but it's going to go way foul. Ryan James, a designated player for the Snappers here this weekend.
Good effort from Brett Larson in left, trying to track that down.
Well, as you said, there's a football field between the two lines there, the foul line and the out-of-play line. You could play a rugby game in that area. Swing and a miss. Gets away from McGovern, but he's on it quickly and will toss down to first to complete the out. And you know, the one thing I've enjoyed seeing here, Chris, this weekend is the return of the bat boy and the bat girl.
Yeah, James had to try and scamper down to first base, but McGovern, calm, cool, tossed it on down to finish the K. 5 in a row retired.
Downstairs to Sean Adamo. And chases that one downstairs again.
Yeah, tidy inside drop ball from Patrick. He's looked good so far.
One of the Team Canada brass here, they're going to be looking at guys like this at the future, as I think, you know, you and I both would agree. I think that after this current Worlds down in New Zealand, that there's likely to be some pretty significant turnover on Team Canada over the course of the next cycle.
Yeah, it's always been a challenge for Softball Canada when to pull the trigger on making those changes. There's been plenty of times where guys we thought were done were left off and came back. There's always a reliance on your veteran players.
Yeah, and I think the guys like Colin Walsh, who have now been through a couple of cycles, and even though he was left off for one, back on, he's going to become the veteran that they're going to be looking at. And the same with Tyler Paulai, who's been to a couple of Worlds now, or will have been to a couple with New Zealand coming up.
Real big transitional tournament for Walsh and Paulai as they go in there. It'll still be a kind of like a growing phase with the elders around, making sure you're okay, but next time around they'll be counted on for even more again.
Yeah, and the new guys like Corey Jones, Justin Laskowski, who got a taste of it in Parna at the qualifier, as down on strikes goes Adamo, just trying to be defensive there with the swing. Couldn't keep up with that offering from Nick Patrick. We'll pick up this conversation on the other side. Chiefs 1, Niagara Snappers no score. We'll go to the bottom of the second. Chiefs coming back to the plate.
Does your game need work? Want to get better every game? Every at-bat? You need Lumberjack Sports. Focusing on exceptional quality and providing players with reliable, long-lasting product, Lumberjack Sports brings you in-game equipment and off-field workout gear, designed and tested by top fastball player Nick Shales. Learn from the best. Play like the best. Check out lumberjacksports.ca to put your game over.
So it's not a live look at the Lions Park here in Simcoe, but Luciano was here the other night with his drone and give you an idea of how the lights are taking effect. The field looks pretty good shape now as we're past dusk and we're getting on to full dark.
Yeah, and give you a good look if you haven't been at this complex, just how nice it is. It feels kind of going all around 3/4 of it. You got some tents, you got some nice washroom facilities right in the middle. Yeah, I like this place.
Yeah, it's a good spot for a tournament. I'm glad the Chiefs have brought big-time ball back here. Piplo Lopez hit one out of a 310-foot park down in Fort Myers in Florida back in January. This guy's got a smooth swing.
He's a thick man.
He's a big lad. Plays on the Mexican national team, so 28 degrees might not have been hot enough for Piplo today.
Kids would call that thick, THICC.
Is that how that goes? So you're cooler than me again. So
I knew that one.
And ball 4, good eye at the plate by Lopez.
Hills, the catcher, number 21.
Couldn't find the range. Josh McGovern come to the plate.
So we'll take a 18 to 20 hour flight, I suppose, from Mexico to Australia.
Yeah, thereabouts. The international flavor, and I think that's one of the greatest attributes of our game these days is the international flavor. You've got guys here from all across Canada. Local team here from Ontario competing against the big team, but national team players from Mexico, from New Zealand, from Australia, from Canada, from the U.S., Argentina, of course. We will have a full-fledged team from Argentina from a school coming up again in Moline in August, the Universidad from Buenos Aires. Called strike 3. McGovern not in agreement. He'll look for that call when he gets the catcher's gear back on.
That one looked a little low in real life. Not so bad on the replay, if we're being honest.
Swing and a miss there by Brett Larson. Larson, a late addition to Team Canada, going down to Paterna as Ryan Boland was ultimately unable to make the trip.
Well, it can be tough to get away. I mean, these guys certainly aren't professional athletes, and you got to get a chunk of time and get your employer to agree to it.
Yeah,
not always
you
easy.
Think about the time you need for Paterna. That was a couple of weeks. You need days here and there for all these weekend tournaments. Boland told me they got home at 4 in the morning last weekend from the tournament in Mitchell. Then you have the World Tournament, you have the Canadian National Tournament, and then you've got to go to New Zealand. You know that New Zealand is going to be at least a 3-week excursion. By the time you get down there, play some exhibition games ahead of the Worlds, it's going to be snap throw and sliding back in. Well, almost got down to hands and knees over there was Pippo Lopez. I don't think he wanted to get his uniform dirty.
Yeah, Yancey's getting some swing and miss. He's also got 3 guys gone down looking.
Well, back to the top of the shop, and there's a changeup into Boland, just a little high. Top of the third, still 2-1 for Grand Prairie over the Niagara Stompers. I know there's a lot of you that are tracking that game, so we'll keep you up to date as much as possible as we can with that.
So we got the Niagara Snappers and the Niagara Stompers.
Yes, just to keep things very confusing.
And for those of you who aren't familiar with the area, you may not be shocked to learn Niagara, not very far from here.
About an hour. If you haven't seen it, we'll show you a little bit later the drone footage that Luciano took at Niagara Falls the other day. I don't know how he managed to get his drone up in the air in Niagara Falls. I might have thought that was restricted airspace, but he did it nonetheless.
Well, suicide mission for the drone as well, because there's no soft landing spots there.
No, not if you get it wrong. So Boland aboard with the walk, and now a couple of runners aboard for Nick Shales. And Nick, to me, with some of his swings, looked like he was getting a little bit closer to mid-season form. Strike on the outside corner. That's a good pitch there from Reese Yancey.
Yeah, we heard a good spot coming from Tyson Barkman. It certainly was.
That just misses downstairs. And that one fouled off the end of the bat. Shales out in front of it.
Yeah, another changeup from Yancey. And it's a good thing it was off speed because it was middle.
Nobody down here. 2 runners aboard. Lopez and Boland. Chopper on the infield. Bartley steps on third, but we're going to call dead ball foul. Or dead ball, at least, at the plate.
Hard to see from our angle. Looked pretty good, but must have went off Nick's foot.
Must have been
Or
at the front foot. Yeah.
Bartley took it in the air on the wrong side of the bag.
Don't think that was the case. I think that was... So Bartley goes the short way, and we didn't have any outs showing on the scoreboard, but I got fooled by that one, so bad on me. But that is the third out of the inning. So they work out of that little mini jam, and the Snappers keep the score 1-0. They'll come to the plate top of the third. Stay with us here on Softball Premier TV.
This business was opened in 1965. by my father, Ned Medios. Could have walked in here 25, 30 years ago and seen just about the same thing. The process of making this suit takes about 6 weeks. It goes through about 12 or 13 hands as it's moved along the line. It's an old-time place. Making stuff from scratch here in the city at a reasonable cost. It's a very personal type of business.
Peligro Sports provides the essentials needed to give your team an edge on the field. Our brand is rooted in creating a unique experience tailored to the specific needs of your team to ensure your performance is at the best level to execute plays. At Peligro Sports, we rally behind our athletes and understand their fight to take their game to a dangerous level. Visit our store at 2200 Amsterdam Avenue in New York City or see us online at Peligro Sports NYC.
Leading off the top of the third inning for the Snappers, the left fielder, number 11.
Adam Bredner to lead things off for the Snappers here in the top of the third inning. They're trailing by 1. Nick Patrick has things mostly under control for the Chiefs out on the board.
Blair, I was trying to figure where I knew the name Nick Patrick from. Now, you and I are both wrestling fans. Nick Patrick, longtime WCW referee. Remember he had the long curly hair, the mustache? Nick Patrick.
You got to go all the way back to the 80s for me on that one, as this one is hit a long way but foul off the bat of Adam Bredner. Adam, a veteran in the Golden Horseshoe League, kicked around for the Red Hot Chili Pepper, has played for a couple of different teams and made his way on to the Snappers, and a guy who just loves the game and out here doing his best for the Snappers here this weekend.
Hey man, you can't have a full tournament if you don't bring in some of the local teams. So good on the boys for getting out here and competing.
Called strike 3 outside corner. Down goes Bredner.
Now batting the third baseman, number 77.
Yeah, 1-2 drop ball. High drop ball.
So Perry Bartley, one of the founders of the Niagara Snappers, he and third base coach Jay Palov put this team together. I want to say late 90s.
That's a lot of ball right there.
Well, they've been perennial favorites in the Golden Horseshoe League. They competed up in the ISC Travel League for a few years in the mid-2000s. I think there was an 11 or 12-year streak where they were in the championship game of the Golden Horseshoe League every year. Won a few, lost a few. Won the IC2 championship in 2014. That tournament win came for the Snappers about 7 years after they were favored to win in 2007. Brought in Corey Costello, who at the time was kind of the ISC2 king. They had a really good team, hard-hitting team, and lost to Jeremy Tracy from New Brunswick in the semifinals. And that team, TNT from South Lebanon, Pennsylvania, would go on to win that ISC2 championship back in Kitchener. That would have been 07.
I was there.
Were you?
Wasn't playing. I was drinking.
Bartley down on strikes. That gets us down to Calvin Moore, the 9-batter for the Snappers. Calvin Monroe.
Snappers still looking for the first base runner.
Oh, you just jinxed them. So I'm told. You can't talk about those things in the broadcast booth because it might impact the play on the field.
You know what? I maybe used to believe in that,
I don't at all.
but I don't either.
No, good change up there from Nick Patrick. Took something off, and if he is going to learn the change up, Pablo Migliavaca is a pretty good guy to learn it from. And speaking of Pablo Migliavaca, well, not actively throwing at the moment, but is upstanding down the line for the Hill United Chiefs. Looking like he might warm up at some point.
No need to warm up when your starter is rolling. Oh, that's a double jinx.
Downstairs, and McGovern pops out to get that one. Patrick went once through the order against the Toronto Batman earlier today, and that littered his job. Get through the order once as expeditiously as he can, and did a good job of that. But due to no fault of his own, a couple of errors, and he got saddled with the loss, even though the runs were unearned against the Batman in that game. Swings through that. Good inside rise ball, and Nick Patrick's got it all under control at the moment. Hill United Chiefs will come to the plate, bottom of the third, leading 1-0.
Peligro Sports provides the essentials needed to give your team an edge on the field. Our brand is rooted in creating a unique experience tailored to the specific needs of your team to ensure your performance is at the best level to execute plays. At Peligro Sports, we rally behind our athletes and understand their fight to take their game to a dangerous level. Visit our store at 2200 Amsterdam Avenue in New York City or see us online at peligrosportsnyc.com.
There's Reese Yancey. He will face Brad Ezekiel to lead things off here. Bottom of the third inning for the Hill United Chiefs. For those following the Niagara Stompers game against the Grand Prairie Pirates, that game now tied 2-2 in the bottom of the third inning. Connor Brooks, who is an up-and-coming star, playing in the U20 division, he is pitching that game for the Stompers. He is a prospect for the Canada U23 team. That's one upstairs to Ezekiel.
Ezekiel has one of two hits. Through 6 outs, Yancey has 5 Ks.
So he's making a miss, but when they are making contact, they're falling in. Ezekiel danced away from that one, but got a strike on the inside corner.
Well, Yancey has been uptight on a few of the Hill United batters early. I wonder if maybe they're just not digging in a little too much.
Well, yeah, this is it again. It's early June, or mid-June rather. You don't want to get hurt in the first term of the year. That got a bite of our home plate umpire.
Blair, it's late June. It's the 25th today.
I guess it is late June, eh?
Man, time flies. Happens also when you get old, like you and me.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I appreciate that. Yeah, that's a great reminder. Bradley Ezekiel swings through and misses. 6th strikeout of the night.
Yeah, in under the hands. With a rise ball, Brad Ezekiel usually deposits those over the fence. 6 Ks for Reese Yancey. I'm impressed.
It just tied Thomas Anoka up in knots there with that little off speed.
Yeah, changing speeds, changing spots. Old school pitching.
Hard hit and past the diving shortstop. Anoka will round the bag and then retreat back. That caught too much of the plate there, and Tommy hard hit through the left side. You go right almost into your living room there with that pitch. Got to bring up Alan Pecker. Anoka, as all the Kiwis do, will run the bases well. And trying to bunt is Pecker.
Well, I talked a bit about it in the last game. Pecker's one of my favorite players in the whole game to watch, the entire sport. He can take you for power on the pull side. He can slap it. He can single it out over the infield. He can run. He's a good defender.
Good arm. And this one is golfed like a 9-iron way up in the air. Phil Mickelson flop shot. And coming in, and that ball I think had ice on it when it came down, Chris.
Tough play for Kevin Newhouse out there, but he's stuck with it for the second out of the inning. See there. Yeah, that swing was straight up.
Yeah.
I don't know what else we thought might have happened if he made contact with that swing.
Looks like some of your 300-yard golf drives. 100 up, 100 out, 100 down.
I usually don't even get it up 100. I go 150 straight, 150 left.
Left, yeah.
Yeah. Lefty golfer.
So Jason Hill at the plate, swing and a miss.
Starting to wonder if it might be really, really hard to see the ball come from the pitcher's hand out here. 5 strikeouts in a row on the other side for Nick Patrick.
Well, there's a bit of a haze or dust or something that is settling over the diamond here. And, yeah, you're right. It might be the ability to pick up the ball.
I think the lighting is quite reasonable on the infield.
Well, no problem seeing that one. That's going to split the gap, get to the fence out and left. They're going to wave Anoka around. Jason Hill is going to try to dig for third. The throw's in that general direction, but misses the cutoff man. And Jason Hill in with a stand-up triple.
Second triple of the game for Hill United. This time taken the other way by Jason Hill, who stayed with that pitch. And we've talked about it already, the width of this outfield. Anoka scores easily, and Hill in with a stand-up triple, making it 2-0.
Piplo Lopez to the plate, keeping an eye on the Niagara Stompers game with Grand Prairie Pirates. 2-2. That game now into the bottom of the 4th. As that gets away from our catcher Monroe, Jason Hill. I know he's a world-class sprinter, but I don't think even Jason would have made it home on that one.
I had an opportunity to talk to him in between games. Long day, he said. Some of the guys, they get a little bit older. Jason, a couple of years shy of the 40 mark right now. It's a long day, and you're playing back-to-back like that. Sometimes you might have to make a little business decision every now and again.
Swing and a miss there by Lopez. And, you know, it is early in the season for some of these guys. I think one of the advantages the Toronto Batmen have got is that this is their third tournament now. They played in the Winston Bell tournament in St. Clements earlier. I'm not sure if it's still called the Winston Bell, but they played in that tournament early in the year. Lopez sends this one out to center, but calling that one in is Keenan Bateman. So give it a ride, but the deep park here plays to the advantage of the Snappers. The Chiefs score one, they double the lead. It's 2-0 through 3 complete. And we'll pick up the stories on the other side.
Whatever your delivery requirements are across North America, Skelton Truck Lines provides you with reliable, safe, and high-quality service at a fair price. Skelton Truck Lines equipment is satellite tracked and delivers small parcel, less than truckload, and expedited shipments throughout Canada and the U.S. With over 50 years of experience and more than 50 trucks serving 4 divisions, Skelton Truck Lines is a thriving Ontario business and a proud fastball sponsor. Visit us online at skeltontruck.com. Thanks to Mike Skelton for supporting the broadcast.
The annual Boys of Summer tournament is held every July at Circle Tap Bar and Grill in Denmark, Wisconsin. We host some of the top teams in the game at one of the best venues in softball. The atmosphere of old-time fast pitch with all of the amenities of a full-service bar and grill on the grounds can't be beat. Reduced rate hotels about 10 minutes from the park are available in Green Bay. To bring your team to the annual Boys of Summer tournament next July, contact Dean Kane at ct16@greenbaynet.com. Thanks to Circle Tap for their support of the broadcast program.
So you see Pablo Migliavaca completing his warm-ups as Nick Patrick departs. Chris, perfect 3 innings?
Absolutely perfect. 6 strikeouts out of the 9 outs. The last 5 were retired via the K. But looks like the plan was to make the hook after 3. They do.
Or once through the order, and I think then that's exactly what's happened here. And that was the plan with Patrick in the Toronto game. He got once through the order. The leadoff batter came around and the hook came out. So playing it exactly by the book, Jeff Ellsworth and the Chiefs management move on to Pablo Migliavaca. And as quick, Adam Folkert is up throwing in the bullpen. So Folkert, who threw 2 innings against the Batmen, and then 3 innings at least against Bear Creek.
Yeah, Migliavaca went 4 against Bear Creek, and then Folkert finished it off with 3.
Swing and a miss by Keenan Bateman. Migliavaca last night just showcased a world-class changeup. And took a little bit off that one, but that's not the ace changeup or the A changeup that he'll bring. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Bateman. And swing and a miss. And over the top, Pablo Migliavaca comes in, picks up his first strikeout. And how many in a row, Chris, now is that 6?
6 strikeouts in a row of Snappers batters. A little inside drop ball. Swing and a miss. Bateman, his second strikeout of the evening.
Kevin Newhouse would have been one of the original snappers. Has played second base forever, it seems like, for the Niagara squad. Did some catching back in the day as well. But there's the good changeup from Pablo Migliavaca. It breaks left to right as we sit here, Chris. And when you see that pitch from the center field camera, you just you'd have to marvel. Close the drop by him on the outside corner and make that 7.
Yeah, more K's than a Kardashian family reunion.
Oh. Can't believe you went there.
Come on, that was good.
That misses just off the outside corner. Tyson Barkman into bat. Barkman, of course, from the Vancouver area. Plays in that lower mainland league out west, along with Derek Mason, Brian Avery, some others out there. Scott Nehigh, I think, is in that lower BC area. Foul that one back to the screen. Good catch there by the on-deck batter, Reese Yancey. Old school Reese Yancey, eh? Pitching, hitting cleanup.
I know. It's Dean Holine-esque.
Yeah. And chases after that one. It gets away from McGovern. I don't know why Barkman was swinging at that pitch unless he was aiming to get on the pass ball or the wild pitch, third strike.
Hey, find a way. So that goes as a strikeout.
It is a strikeout. You almost have to give that a wild pitch as opposed to a pass ball. There's no way McGovern could have played that. Inside to Yancey. And a bit of a meager swing at that offering.
Well, you're seeing some of the swings from the Snappers players, and, you know, we talked about it's a little tough to pick the ball up this time of night, but when you go up a level in the type of pitching you face and the amount of movement on the ball, it can make you look silly. I know from experience.
I totally agree. But this is where the Reese Yanceys and some of the others are aspiring to be. So these are good at bats for guys like Reese to get extra looks at the Pablos and the Adams and the Patricks and some of the other guys that are here. That misses downstairs.
Still only 2-0 here in the fourth. I think a lot of people at the park expected this one to get out of hand early. Reese Yancey, who's batting now, has had his way, really, with the exception of a couple of hard hit balls with the Hill United order.
Just fouled off at the plate. I don't know if you can see it. You might just see it there. McGovern has got orange tape around all of his fingers to help Pablo Migliovaca with the signal, so you can see it. And swing and a miss. 4 strikeouts on the inning. Migliovaca, the Chiefs on a roll.
Yeah, it's been all strikeouts all the time for the Snappers lineup. Like I said, even 4 in the 1 inning. They're going to have to start putting the ball in play if they want to get any further in this tournament.
Murphy's Fish and Chips is not only a great place to get some of the best seafood in Canada, but is also one of the best fastball sponsors in the game. Voted Nova Scotia's best fish and chips by Eastlink TV, Murphy's is a family institution since 1996 and a proud fastball sponsor of many Canadian and ISC championship teams. Open 7 days a week. Come join us for our famous English-style fish and chips or any of our daily specials. Murphy's is located at 88 Esplanade in Truro, Nova Scotia. We thank Dave T. Anderson and Murphy's Fish and Chips for their commitment to fastball and the broadcast program. Murphy's Fish and Chips is not only a great place to get some of the best seafood in Canada, but is also one of the
Josh McGovern in for the Hill United Chiefs as we're into the home half of the fourth inning. And Chris, you were right. It hasn't been a sustained attack by the Hill United Chiefs here. It's been sporadic. Shales with the triple comes in on the hit by Ezekiel. Anoka scores on the hit by Jason Hill. But that's it. It's kind of one-offs. There's nothing sustained. They haven't put together 6-7 hits in a row.
No, I think the credit goes to Reese. Yeah.
Flair, and that will be reeled in by Al Stevens, the shortstop, ranging over to his left, close to the second base bag.
The left fielder, number 8,
Brett Larson.
Yeah, as a defender, you love those. Just a little looper. You don't have to react too quickly. It's at eye level. Stevens not going to get a bit easier play than that tonight.
No, that is a gift wrap. Right down Davis Avenue for a strike to Brett Larson. Setup is outside to go there and just miss off the outside corner. And that one just misses downstairs. So run the count to 2 balls, 2 strikes. Chopper on the infield, picked up by Newhouse, turn, spin, throw, and they got him at first.
Now, that's a real nice play up the middle by Newhouse.
Yeah, he's got to go all the way over to the bag. You can see it there. And then turn and got something on the throw while jumping almost backwards in the air. Back to the top of the shop, Shane Boland drills this one to deep center. That's going to go off the fence. Boland puts the head down around second, into third. Here's the throw, and we'll get it run back into the infield by Al Stevens as Shane Boland. That's the third triple of the night for the Hill United Chiefs.
Yeah, that speaks to the size of this ballpark. Shane Boland gets all of this. Looks like it's gone deep into the night. Well, it's gone deep. It one hops the fence. And the third stand-up triple for the Hill United Chiefs. I think Shane had home on his mind.
Oh, yeah, he had his head down the whole way coming around second and was motoring pretty good.
So Boland adds to the walk that he had in the second.
Some noise going on over on the diamond behind us. It looked like maybe one of the Grand Prairie batters maybe just came in, scored a run. We'll see if we can get an update on that one shortly. Upstairs from Yancey.
Yeah, that's back-to-back rise balls to start this at bat. Monroe kept another run off the board with that pick.
Yancey shakes a couple, not on the same page. This is where you got to call time and go out and see, because they go upstairs and up out of the zone. You don't want to just hang something to Nick Shales because you needed to throw a pitch.
Well, it seemed to me that Yancey's leaning on the rise ball, and if he was shaking to get back to it, he's lucky that wasn't in the zone.
Well, this one isn't fouled straight back by Shales. That goes off the gloves. Boland will trot home easily. And ball forward to Nick Shales to boot. So in on the wild pitch, make it 3-0 for the Hill United Chiefs. Shales up to first base. Bradley Ezekiel will get his third at bat here of the game. Hearing 3-2 Grand Prairie in the fifth. We saw what looked like them score a run, and indeed they did. So for those who have been tuned in here and for waiting for the updates, that game moving along at a little bit speedier clip than this one.
Although this one's moving along pretty good. Less than an hour in, we've got 2 down the bottom of the fourth.
To the screen, hit the mascot. Up to second goes Nick Shales.
Well, backstop camera technology has come a long way, because in years past, we'd be down for an inning.
Camera. You and I have been there and experienced that.
Ain't nothing like being at Best Buy in Moline, Illinois at 9 a.m. on a Sunday morning at the end of the World Tournament.
Yancey pours in a strike there to
Saturday morning, I guess.
Saturday morning, yeah, you're right. It was Saturday morning, wasn't it?
Well, it'd have to be. I was like, would they be open on a Sunday? But then I remembered that ends on a Saturday.
Lifted way up in the night sky here over by the fence, but that's just going to clunk off the ladder right next door to a camera. Luciano holding his breath the whole way that ball was coming down.
Yeah. Reminds me of the, I guess, the double IHF or the World Junior a few years ago, where the puck just went off the camera that was a little bit over the glass.
Swing and a miss there. Brad Ezekiel down on strikes. Long day for Bradley. You don't often see Bradley ending innings with runners on base with a strikeout.
No, you don't, and it's his second of the night. We'll get another look at it here. Yeah, that's a get-me-home swing for sure. 3-0 Hill United after 4.
Does your game need work? Want to get better every game? Every at-bat? You need Lumberjack Sports. Focusing on exceptional quality and providing players with reliable, long-lasting product, Lumberjack Sports brings you in-game equipment and off-field workout gear, designed and tested by top fastball player Nick Shales. Learn from the best. Play like the best. Check out lumberjacksports.ca to put your game over the
Ryan James in for the Snappers. Top of the fifth inning, trailing 3-0. And swings and misses as that low offering from Pablo Migliavacca. It's rare, Chris, that you get a pitch from Pablo Migliavacca up above the thigh, never mind up above the belt. And this is downstairs.
He's classy. He likes to keep it below the knee.
Very good. Very good. Swing and a miss there. Do you want to let Luciano know that we still got the music on in the background? Very good. Thank you. Unfortunately, Luciano working without the headphones tonight as he's monitoring everything, and we can hear the music in the background, but he doesn't hear it.
I just thought we were grooving.
Well, we could be.
Another strikeout of Ryan James. Make that 5 in a row since Migliavacca's come in. 10 in a row overall.
And that handcuffs McGovern. It's been a long day for the Snappers, too. They were in the first game of the day at 10 a.m. So we are 12 hours and 21 minutes later, and they're still on the diamond, swinging right through.
That's a very long day. I don't care what you're doing, let alone being out here in high 20s, maybe touching 30-degree sun.
In the outside corner for the Snappers, this is their fourth game of the day. They did not play on Friday night. So 4 games in a little bit over 12 hours.
If they can stay awake, that beer's going to taste extra good tonight.
Yes, indeed it will. Foul that one back to the screen. To their credit, over the years, the Snappers have always been supporters of the beer gardens.
Well, there might not be any ice left in the cooler because there's going to be a bunch of guys who are going to want a bag for a knee or an ankle or all of the above.
Yeah.
It's a full count.
Fouled off again here by Adamo. Adam Bredner on deck. You get a good look there at the Gorilla Gold rag, which is a tacky, sticky rag, if you will. It helps the pitchers with their grip on the ball. Fouled out of play.
As opposed to tacky like the jokes I've made this evening.
Oh, yeah. You have specialized in those. Telling dad jokes without even being a dad.
Yeah, it must just be a gift that's bestowed upon you when you hit 40.
Called strike 3. Extend that strikeout run just a little further.
Adamo made it difficult on Migliavaca. Worked 3 balls, few foul balls. At the end of the at-bat, though, it's going to look like so many before it. This time a backwards K, the second tonight. Snapper batter to go down looking. The first was Adam Bredner.
Well, Bredner at the plate right now. And looked at a strike to open up his account here in the 5th. And took something off. Migliavaca has just got it on a string right now. The Folkert warm-up crew are making a slow walk back to the dugout. Swinging a miss there by Bredner. One and 2. And swinging a miss downstairs. Run that out to how many?
Altogether, man, all of them except 3. How about you do that? Plus 1. So 5 times 3 is 13 strikeouts.
Okay, I'm still waiting on 5 times 3 being 13.
15, take away the 3, add the one that went to first.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Okay, I actually followed that logic. Very good. All right. Well, Pablo Migliavaca working out very well the pitching change. Stay with us here. We'll come back for the Hill United at bat.
This business was opened in 1965 by my father, Ned Matiosi. Could have walked in here 25, 30 years ago and seen just about the same thing. The process of making this suit takes about 6 weeks. It goes through about 12 or 13 hands as it's moved along the line. It's an old-time place. Making stuff from scratch here in the city at a reasonable cost. It's a very personal type of business.
Dominic Sunoka will lead it off for the Hill United Chiefs. Bottom of the 5th inning. Chiefs up 3-0 on the Niagara Snappers. Chris, you said it earlier. A lot of people at the park thought maybe Hill United would run away with this one, but Reese Yancey has done a great job keeping in it. This one is lays foul down the left side by Thomas.
Yeah, Yancey's done just enough to keep the Hill United Chiefs batters off balance. The times he hasn't, the ball's been smacked hard, but more often than not, he's succeeded in his mission. The problem isn't the pitching or the defense for the Snappers right now. It's their inability to put the bat on the ball.
As you said, still looking for, well, they had a base runner, even though it was a strikeout. This is lifted way up in the air. Shortstop will haul that in, Al Stevens. So how does that, it can't be a perfect game because you had a base runner,
59, Adam.
but no hitter still intact.
I guess so. Yeah, you'd have to ask somebody a lot smarter than me.
This one past it, diving Stevens. Packer pass first, going to scamper up all the way to second, and boy, he just never broke stride. And right into second. That ball barely made it onto the outfield grass.
You want to know why I love watching this guy play the sport. Look at this. Ground ball to center field, and he turns it into a double. Unbelievable. Ryan Wolf stuff.
Designated player, number 10, Jason.
So we've got a substitution here. Steve Mullally will come in as the right-handed batter and give Jason Hill some relief from having to face Reese Yancey again.
That's how much Jason Hill hates lefties. Get me out of the game, coach.
Yeah, I just hit a triple, but get me out. Mullally chases a rise ball. And upstairs from Yancey.
So Mullally will enter the game as the designated player should the spot come around again.
And chases the rise ball upstairs again.
Suffice it to say, Blair, he's not looking for a little single.
No, not looking to just put something out on the grass and go the opposite way with it. Called strike three. Mullally not going to be happy with that one. Will make the long, slow walk back to the bench.
A little change up on the inner half. We'll get another look here on the replay. Yeah, maybe up a little.
Too close to take. Lopez on the outside corner. Thought about going all the way around with it. Old school high socks, but new school with the hoodie.
I like the look. I don't love the hoodie look. I'm not so much into that. But the high socks I like.
You're all right with that?
I was a high socks guy
Were you?
myself at one point. Yeah.
I remember when we used to have the stirrups.
Absolutely. They were so hard to wear.
Stirrups.
The stirrups were hard to wear.
Hey, careful up there, Lucy.
You needed really good elastic on the stirrups. Because invariably the stirrup or the sock underneath it would start falling down.
Yeah. Lace down the left side, but that's going to go foul. Valiant effort out there.
What an effort.
By the left fielder, Adam Bredner.
That was a hell of an effort, actually. And all he got out of it was a sore shoulder and a bill from the Department of Agriculture here in Simcoe.
Is that for the divot?
Yes. Sods are expensive.
Swing and a miss there by Lopez, and Reese Yancey continues to do the job. Keep this game close. His snapper fellow hitters need to get the bats off the shoulders and get the ball in play.
Nine by my count on the strikeouts.
Whatever your delivery requirements are across North America, Skelton Truck Lines provides you with reliable, safe, and high-quality service at a fair price. Skelton Truck Lines equipment is satellite tracked and delivers small parcel, less than truckload, and expedited shipments throughout Canada and the U.S. With over 50 years of experience and more than 50 trucks serving 4 divisions, Skelton Truck Lines is a thriving Ontario business and a proud fastball sponsor. Visit us online at skeltontruck.com. Thanks to Mike Skelton for supporting the
Peligro Sports provides the essentials needed to give your team an edge on the field. Our brand is rooted in creating a unique experience tailored to the specific needs of your team to ensure your performance is at the best level to execute plays. At Peligro Sports, we rally behind our athletes and understand their fight to take their game to a dangerous level. Visit our store at 2200 Amsterdam Avenue in New York City or see us online at peligrosportsnyc.com.
There's Adam Folker just tamping down the area around his landing zone. So pitching by committee continues for the Hill United Chiefs here, just playing it right the way that they scripted it up.
7 strikeouts in just 6 outs, and Pablo Miglivaca is done for the evening.
And Bartley behind that offering from Folker. Adam occasionally pitches in the Golden Horseshoe League down in Niagara Falls. And it won't be Bartley's first time seeing Adam when this is downstairs.
Well, there's a time where a lot of guys who had at-bats against Adam still may not have seen him.
That is very true. Excuse me, swing over the top of that. And if they're having trouble seeing it, this is not the guy that you want to see enter the game. I'm trying to remember the last time Adam Folker would have pitched in 3 different games in a day. Little flare on the infield. That will end the run of strikeouts. Thomas Anoka still on his toes and come in to intercept that before it reached the ground.
Well, you know, in the late 90s, when I played junior, I played behind a guy named Sean Witten, who dominated.
Yes. Yeah.
And we go to the park at night, and Sean would strike out 18, 20 guys. And every now and again, a ball would be put in play. And to be ready for that was not an easy feat. So Thomas Anoka still ready, even after all those strikeouts.
Well, I'll tell you, I mean, Adam is pretty quick out there. He doesn't dawdle. And I think as an infielder, I always appreciated the guys who worked quick. You could just rock back on your heels with some guys who take 30, 40 seconds in between pitches.
Tell you what, we talked about the St. John's League before. I don't know if anyone ever has dominated a league the way Sean Witten dominated the St. John's Junior circuit in the 90s. We'll have to go back, get Gerald Goss to dig up the stats. Gerald was his catcher for a lot of those games. And, every night, Sean would strike out everybody.
Swing and a miss there. Down goes catcher Monroe. Back to the top of the shot for Keenan Bateman. And Keenan, I don't know if you've ever seen Adam Folker pitch, but you're about to experience something.
Snappers still looking for their first. Well, no, I can't say they're looking for their first base runner. They had a base runner. They're still looking for their first earned base runner.
So like their first hit.
Their first hit,
Yeah.
first walk even.
Because the only base runner is it Barkman that got on?
Yeah, and the
Yeah, Barkman got
strikeout.
on the strikeout.
Drop third
Yeah,
strike.
Yeah. There's a chopper, and give you credit there, Keenan Bateman making contact. One hopper into the glove of Falkert. The flip to first, and still 3-0. Jay Paylove is going to come over and make some changes here for our home plate umpire. We'll find those out in a minute. We'll tell you after the break.
For all your team uniform and equipment needs, fastball, slow pitch, and hockey, for players and teams, make sure you visit Corbett's Source for Sports on the South Service Road in Oakville, Ontario. There's a lot of deals to be had on all kinds of equipment. Thank you to Paul Hurd and Corbett's Source for Sports for their generous sponsorship of the broadcast program.
The annual Boys of Summer tournament is held every July at Circle Tap Bar and Grill in Denmark, Wisconsin. We host some of the top teams in the game at one of the best venues in softball. The atmosphere of old-time fast pitch with all of the amenities of a full-service bar and grill on the grounds can't be beat. Reduced-rate hotels about 10 minutes from the park are available in Green Bay. To bring your team to the annual Boys of Summer tournament next July, contact Dean Kane at ct16@greenbaynet.com. Thanks to Circle Tap for their support of the broadcast.
The catcher, number 21, Josh McGovern.
Josh McGovern will lead things off for the Hill United Chiefs here, bottom of the 6th inning. Some changes for the Snappers, including a new pitcher, Todd Babinski, will be in to face Hill United. Reese Yancey works 5, gives up the 3 runs. Had 6 or 7 strikeouts, I think, right, Chris?
Oh, he had every bit of that. Let me just double check. I had 9.
9 for Yancey. That is a good night.
That's a good night. 3 runs on 5 hits against the defending champs. Yeah, not bad.
Not bad. Not bad indeed.
Couple of changes, Blair. We got a new pitcher and a new third baseman.
Yeah, new third baseman is Al Van Dyke, and we talked about Todd Babinski in being the new pitcher. And there's a called strike. Todd picking up the, excuse me for a minute. The family pitching gene from his older brother Wayne, who pitched in the Niagara region for many years. There's a walk for McGovern as Babinski right now is having trouble finding the strike zone.
It looks like he's trying to roll that, whether it's a curve or a drop ball. He's trying to roll, and he's rolling it right to the backstop. He did one in warm-ups as well.
The Larson looks at a strike, so 1 ball, 1 strike to the 9 batter for the Hill United Chiefs.
Larson has got that Nestor Cortez mustache going on here. Look out.
This one is up and over the head, and up to second base goes McGovern.
Big Jace fan, but I love Nestor Cortez.
And this one hard hit past the diving Stevens out at short. Around comes McGovern. He will stand up, and into second goes Brett Larson. Make it 4-0 for the Chiefs. That will bring up Shane Boland.
Larson gets every bit of this RBI double. Valiant effort at short.
Yeah, Al Stephen has been diving left and right all night. He has the dirtiest uniform out there and doesn't get rewarded with an opportunity to swing the bat. So the game behind us has concluded, and if you were a Niagara Stomper fan, you're a little bit disappointed here as Grand Prairie wins that one 3-2. That must have been a good ball game. It was over quick, and a 3-2 victory for the Grand Prairie Pirates. So the team from the West will move on. The Stompers will take a 1-3 record out of the Chiefs Challenge. And they will move on. Likely, I think their next tournament is probably the Tavistock tournament. And that goes off Van Dyke at third. Here comes Larson around to score the game's 5th run. As you talked about keeping your head up at third base. And indeed, the new guy coming in gets one smashed his way off the bat of Shane Boland.
Yeah, Boland can turn on one as good as anyone. I think we might have to call that an error.
That's a hard hit ball. I'm going to go with the benefit of the doubt and, in my mind at least, leave Shane with a hit on that. So Shales to the plate as we have, thank you, the score sheet from the other game. Brock Atwell had a home run for the Niagara Stompers. Shales fouls that one off. And
You can be sure that Shales and Bradley Ezekiel, should it come to him, will be looking to end this one with the 7-run mercy rule.
yeah, at 5 right now, 2 would do it. And that may do it, as that's way up in the air to the fence. And a good catch out there by Keenan Bateman. And I will question whether Shane Boland left early.
It was close. I question if he couldn't have scored, as he came hard around third.
Center fielder, number 11, Brad Ezekiel.
I would be just asking if I were the Niagara Snappers. There's no harm in asking, but they're not going to. So Bradley Ezekiel laces this one past the diving shortstop. We've had that one on a loop tonight. Shane Boland trots home with the 6th run of the game for the Chiefs. And now Thomas Anoka will come in. Bang, past the shortstop again. And it's not Al Stevens' fault. He just hasn't been able to catch up to any of these rockets hitting his general direction.
If Al Stevens was the size of Aaron Judge, maybe he would have been able to track down a couple of more of those, but physics does not allow. So the Hill United Chiefs have absolutely blown this one open here against Todd Babinski in the bottom of the 6th. Oof.
Well, get down to first the hard way.
The right fielder, number 59, Adam Becker.
Alan Pecker will have the opportunity here to end this for the Chiefs if he can bring around Nick Shales.
Brad Esigal standing at second.
Sorry, you are correct. I stand corrected there.
It's all right, Blair. I'll give you one.
I appreciate that.
I think you gave me at least 2 tonight.
This one inside to Pecker. He's already been hit once, so he's not looking to wear another one. That one over the head as he ducks down, and Ezekiel will move up. He's the run that matters. But if it's a home run, then of course Thomas and Oka's run would count. Otherwise, Pecker just needs a single to end it.
That'll
And
do it.
that will be the ball game, as that one is outside the reach of the first baseman. And Hill United Chiefs will win 7-0. They will advance to a semifinal tomorrow. No hitter, combined no hitter, 3 ways for the Chiefs between Nick Patrick, Pablo Migliavaca, Adam Falkert. And that'll wrap things up here for the Chiefs Challenge, as this was the last game underway. Chris Abbott, thanks for coming down and joining us. We appreciate you taking the time as we wrap up a long day here at the at Lions Park in Simcoe, Ontario. But Hill United, the host squad, will be in a semifinal. Grand Prairie, we know, will be in a semifinal. The 2 division winners, the New York Gremlins, Toronto Batmen. And a good day of ball. We're looking forward to it tomorrow, weather permitting.
Yeah, some rain in the forecast, so we'll have to check the schedules in the morning, make sure everything's on time. But Blair, what I think the big story is the game is back. The tournaments are back. The excitement's back. The people are around, and the home team's going to Sunday. Always good for the organizers and the beer tent.
Yes, absolutely, and I think you'll see a couple people making their way down to the beer tent right now. I think the Tiger Snappers might be leading the charge. We'll look forward to catching up to everybody tomorrow. Thanks to you, thanks to Joe Todd, Luciano Lafrano for being with us here on Softball Premier TV. We're going to wrap it up for tonight. Come back tomorrow, 10 a.m. Eastern Time, semifinal action here at the Chiefs Challenge. Good night.